Man, that was a really good episode. Yo, what's good, it's your boy Dude Reviews, and heavy spoilers from My Hero Academia, Season 6, Episode 15, You Have Been Warned. I love how the episode started off with an introduction to Tartarus prison, showing us how locked down and tight the security was, how it was pretty damn near impossible for any villains to escape this prison. But everything changes when All For One and the Normals attack the security guards. There's an interesting scene with these three security dudes inside one of the office rooms, and one of the guards is just talking absolute trash to the prisoners inside Tartarus, but one of his co-workers tells him to stop that and to cut it out, as he sort of fears that their dislike towards the villains inside the prison could leak out and be twisted into some sort of violation towards human rights acts. But this dude doesn't care. He's like, I don't like them, they're different from us. And I feel like there's this sort of discrimination these guards have towards the prisoners, particularly this one guy. I wonder if something happened to him when he was a kid that made him absolutely loathe any villains. The fact that he's so black and white on the whole situation really shows it. But unlike people like Deku, who sees a more grey side to the heroes and the villains, this dude is just completely on one side. Shigaraki once again has an inner fight with All For One, trying to reclaim his body back. I really like seeing Shigaraki trying to fight back All For One. Even though the two of them sort of have similar-ish goals, they two both have different dreams and wants. But it looks like All For One has completely taken hold of Shigaraki's body and his eyes start to change color. And the Shigaraki All For One duo managed to break out the real body of All For One. That one shot of the purple lightning looked pretty damn frightening, dude. It sent shivers down my spine. All For One unlocks all the cells to all the prisoners, and we get some familiar faces, including Muscular, the dude who fought Deku back in Season 3. Some of these villains have frightening powers, particularly this one guy called Moonfish with the quirk called Blade Tooth. Not only does he kill the security guards, but he kills his fellow prisoners. We see a glimpse of this purple-haired lady in the prisoner cells, and she looks to be a kind of ordinary person. You know the old saying, looks can be deceiving, so I'm just curious, who is this lady and what's her powers like, and why is she in Tartarus? She opens the door to reveal Overhaul, and this dude is a complete shadow of his former self. I like how despite everything that happened, Shigaraki taking away his powers and him losing badly to Deku, the one thing on his mind is his dad. It makes you kind of feel sorry for this guy and what he was going through mentally in the prison. But I don't know if that look in his eyes are that of fear, terror, or anger and vengefulness. Who knows? We get a pretty visually appealing scene of All For One confronting the body of Shigaraki in front of all the prisoners, commanding and telling them, hey, join our side. See the grand story of how the Demon Lord began. And All For One is really obsessed with this nickname he's calling himself, Demon Lord. We cut to the League of Villains, and Spinner doesn't look too keen on the situation. He was there to follow Shigaraki and his ideals. Shigaraki and Stain, the hero killer, both inspired him, but he doesn't like this new Shigaraki, the All For One merged into Shigaraki person. But All For One reassures him that he is going to witness Shigaraki's dreams come true once he gets the power of One For All and becomes the Demon Lord. I wonder what would happen to him when he gets that power. Will he completely go through a new transformation? We cut to Katsuki waking up, and the one thing on his mind is Deku, which is a nice heartfelt moment. Despite his aggression towards the boy, he cares. We see Gran Torino, Eraserhead, and Present Mike all in the hospital, looking battered and bruised. Present Mike sort of talked to Eraserhead, pretty much set home that the heroes truly lost this time. They worked so hard, they fought so hard, yet they lost so many people and innocent lives were lost at the same time. And you see this gigantic crowd of people outside the hospital being really mad at the heroes, particularly towards Endeavor. There's a lot of distrust towards the heroes within the public. But damn, I feel bad for Shoto and his family. You see his family walking through the crowd, and the reporters are trying to ask them questions whether or not they're involved with Dabi and all that. It must be really hard on them. Shoto was starting to think how Dabi is reminding him of his older self, the version of him before he fought Deku back in Season 2, the one with so much hate in his eyes and vengefulness towards his dad. I bet Shoto's just wondering, if he continued that path, would he have ended up just like Dabi? Why? We'll never know, but Shoto has to resolve in his heart to take on Dabi all by himself as he feels like Endeavor can't deal with him at the moment. His heart, mind, and body are all broken. But the episode ends with Katsuki absolutely losing his mind because it looks like Deku might not wake up. And that's how the episode ends. Overall, this episode was pretty darn amazing. I feel like they adapted 3 chapters into this one episode, but the flow and pacing felt really nice and natural. Both first and second acts were pretty damn amazing. The visuals and character art looked pretty nice and consistent in this episode, which was a plus. I'll give the episode a 9 out of 10 and a B+. But what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Like for more anime reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thanks for watching, and as always, a boy dude review signing up.